Welcome back to another Monday weekly review where, yes, I will get back to Legend of the Seeker and all the other stuff I had planned, like Farscape Fridays and Sweet Tooth Saturdays, once we're done with doing one weekly review at a time, because I'm tired. I'm very tired. Stop asking me questions, Gary. Anywho, I'm back with my younger sib, my little sister of Shan, where we're looking at another episode of Cloak and Dagger today, where we had to look at Unalive Sprints, episode 2.
Yeah.
Now, much like last week, well, for us when you're seeing this, that was 2 weeks ago. When you guys are seeing the first episode at the time of this recording on the 3rd, which we recorded a week prior, so it's gonna be 2 weeks ago. Math. Uh, I'm doing Cloak's side of the narrative of Tyrone, and Shan's talking about Tandy's, aka Dagger's side, for each episode that we're reviewing. And yeah, so Shan, for you to take on Tandy's side of the episode, talk to us about what happened.
Well, it's a little bit of a mess because from the last episode, if y'all recall, Tandy was being basically attacked by the guy that she stole from the very beginning of the episode, and then stabbed him with one of her little daggers, aka literally her name. Um, well, superhero name, if you will. At the end, and she was fearing if he was either in this episode in the beginning, she is fearing that either he is alive or dead. So, because of everything that's happening and being honestly scared out of her mind, she needs to try to run away and basically start a new life because if if he's alive, he'll probably go after her yet again. Or if she's dead, or if he is late, if he's dead, or if he's dead, they're gonna come find out who did it and go after her regardless. Um, so with the help of what's his name, Liam.
Yeah, Liam.
So with the help of Liam, they try to gather up all as much money as they can, which is
Yep, 11K.
$11,000, $11,000, 11K. Basically to get her a whole new identification and like name, birth certificate, you name it, so she can leave and get away from all this and start from scratch. So, what's the best possible way that they can go about this? They raid a wedding and they steal all the money they can get, including the caterers' tips and money and stuff, and then they booked it. And then they get to the end where we see a familiar face. Oh, and also we met supposedly her mom's supposedly boyfriend, and they stole from Tandy, which made her do all that in the first place because they stole every little bit that she had saved.
Yeah, Tandy's just.
You're going through it, man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for Tyrone's whole problem, for Cloak, uh, this is something that's kind of like a non-issue at this moment. Both characters have the knowledge that they have powers. They just have no idea how to use them yet. But for Tyrone, he's using the time throughout the episode to first make sure that his little love interest of Avira or Avira, whatever, is still into him because he's not on the whole train everyone else is on about are Ty and Tandy gonna get together? Ooh. Which so many people are just kind of like, if they're in Marvel Rivals together and Cloak is inside Tandy all the time, are they in Ida? Look, we don't know. They don't know. Stop asking questions, Gary.
They're children. They're children.
In this continuity,
Correct.
in Marvel Rivals, they're in their 20s, if not 30s.
Yeah.
So it's like a huge age disparity there. Disparity? English is not my friend right now. I am high on Dayquil and NyQuil. So Ty right now, aside from his parents thinking that he needs to make up to his coach for punching the shit out of that kid at that basketball game in episode 1, where he
Which he deserved it.
yeah, he also should have punched out the fucking refs because the refs were just like, oh, well, basketball player knocked off on the court. Well, can't do shit about it. No foul shots, no nothing. We will never let this go. The refs deserve to get punched the fuck out of, just like those kids did.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. So Ty is using his connections with his love interest and his coach slash priest to be like, hey, I just want to get some breathing room and also maybe find the guy who shot my brother for no reason. I feel like that would be more beneficial for me than it would be for you because this is a me problem. I needs to answer my me problems.
Correct.
Nobody else thought the same way as Ty because they're like, oh, it's a virus. It is a sickness. The Lord said no. But then Evita, Eve is like, oh, I'll cover for you to go to study hall or whatever, but make sure you're back to school on time. He doesn't get back to school on time to find out that the basketball team is going down laps using the Unalive sprints, which is for the track team to kind of make sure that your endurance levels are fine, but basketball teams use it as more of a punishment drill for their players to kind of torture your own players as a coach. Not a good thing to do, could get you fired from your job because that's corporal punishment and many different states do not appreciate and or approve of that during the years that this was recorded in, to where the coach could have lost his job. But I digress. So Ty ends up late, but then the coach wants to make him the example to then make sure that the team hates him. Classic move, tale as old as time. This is why I hate organized sports from a school standpoint. So Ty is like, all right, I'm going to suffer with my bros. Let me put on my sports gear and run these sprints. And it's like, oh, this symbolic gesture might work. And then the realism in me is like, motherfucker, he is a black kid in the South. And you are doing this entire weekly review stuff that's debuting in Black History Month. What the fuck are you on? So, 3 white kids beat up on a black kid in Louisiana. We picked the wrong month to start this.
We really did. We really did.
3 white kids pick on and beat the shit out of this black kid. And Ty is like, wait a minute. I can teleport. If I just throw some shit on me, I can then teleport. He throws a cover over himself, thinks he's gonna teleport, but doesn't know how his powers work. Gets beat the fuck up and then gets locked up where the equipment is in the locker room. Happy Black History Month. I am going to hell in a handbasket, but it's fine.
The thing is, it's so true, though. Like, as sad as reality it is, like, this is what happened. You're not lying.
It's like, how do you explain this episode to people? Well, in the state of Louisiana, in the deep south.
Literally.
So Ty breaks out from his imprisonment inside of the locker room to lie to his parents by saying, hey, Mom, let Dad know I'm not going to come home. We're running drills today because there's something up the coach's ass. We think it's a rat. Anywho, I'll call you later. And then takes a baseball bat from the school. There was fear from Shan, just like, there's probably gonna be some kids getting beat with a baseball bat, aren't there? I'm like, I don't know. I knew it was gonna happen, but I'd act like I didn't know shit. So then, by happenstance, we see the ginger cop that shot a regular unarmed black citizen in the first episode. God, this was such a bad time to start this weekly review
Happy
series.
Black History Month.
Oh God.
Wait, when are you posting these?
The first one's posting tomorrow at the
Oh,
time we're
beautiful.
recording this, so February 3rd. Random black child gets shot by a white cop with red hair. Happy Black History Month.
A month in all its history.
Oh God.
Oh, we're going to hell.
So Ty is just like, hey, it's the cop that shot my brother when he was unarmed, did nothing wrong, and was gonna go peacefully. I have a baseball bat, but I'm gonna go home instead, check up on my mom. And then we get a bigger scope of Ty's powers. Where originally, unlike with Tandy, where it's just like this very dreamy landscape of stuff, where it gets all pretty, whimsical, and very, I'd say heavenly because of her powers being tied to the light force, we're getting a glimpse into just how fucked up Cloak's powers are. He can not only drag the fear out of people in a way to kind of make them relive their darkest fears that dwell within themselves, but he can drag them into an alternate dimension to make them come real. And if they're stuck there, you start seeing signs where people are drained. It's sapping the life force out of people. Cloak is fucking dangerous.
Oh no, he scared me.
And this is a
Like, truly.
superhero. Imagine him as a supervillain. That's
He scared
horrifying.
me. So he scared me. I was convinced.
So, we find this out because his mom kisses his forehead, and we see that her greatest fear is that she's powerless to stop her kids from being shot by just being black citizens in America. That is so real for any person that is a non-white person in this fucked up country. Not great country, this fucked up country. If you're walking around probably minding your own fucking business, you could be shot for no reason. But then they just paint it out to be that you're just a statistic. And then the parents have to suffer. Their community has to suffer. People have to make sure they never forget. And then there's riots after you. There are protests. This is real. But the way that Cloak drags it out subconsciously because of his ties to the Dark Force, it is fucked up. They had to censor a lot of the shit though, because if this were like an R-rated production or a TVMA production, there would be worse. It would be like a Candyman movie. That's how fucked up it would be to have Cloak's powers, man. It's not a pretty fucking picture. This is lucky to be a teen show. Imagine this if this were of the Netflix Marvel shows. That's how fucked up this is. But I digress. So after his mom is kind of going to take a siesta, because, you know, it's traumatizing enough to be like, I eat because I just had a dark nightmare of seeing both my kids die and then their tombstones. I go eepy now. Ty is like, I'm gonna get my mom's gun. Shan, I'm really just like, we probably really should not have done this to start debuting in February if what I'm about to just say to end off on all this.
Yeah. Well.
So Ty, a teenage black child, an African American child in America, wanders the streets of New Orleans in the state of Louisiana, is carrying a gun and trying to shoot a 30 to 40-year-old white American in an abandoned building. I am not making this up. This is the episode, guys. This is the fucking episode. Oh, God. So, here we have it. Ty is about to kill this man in cold blood because he's like, this man poisoned our family. He is a virus. We gotta get rid of this man. And I'm like, Ty, I'm doing this in Black History Month. What are you doing? So he fires the gun, but then his powers finally activate because, unlike Cloak, Ty's powers only work when he delves into his darkest emotions. His anger, his volatile feelings, his envy, his jealousy, all of the various dark emotions that we have. As soon as just fabric touched his back, he teleported right as he was firing the gun, and then he appears in front of Tandy, who crashes into a tree to be in the car that you see at the beginning of the episode. That you find out she cushioned her own blow because I think she was thinking about Liam and she summoned her light daggers or something. I don't fucking remember. I was too busy just like,
it's a bad time to do this.
Yeah. This is very, very poorly timed time to do this. Whew. But yeah, guys, that was quote unquote Unalive sprints for episode 2. I'm still on the whole bandwagon like how I've been for the first 3 episodes of Daredevil, or when I was watching the original 2 episodes of Jessica Jones, or all of the seasons for Iron Fist and Luke Cage. I prefer these productions a lot more than I ever want to see something from Kevin Feige. You get to cover a lot of stuff that's meaningful to an audience that gets you dragged in. You cover a lot of topics for characters that actually go through so many real things that it justifies why they might have a morally gray code. It's not built around just trying to make a lot of quips and jokes to be the isms of the MCU, because a lot of the people don't want to make jokes. They want to just get through what is life. Cloak and Dagger are in situations to where we as an audience can kind of relate to that. Many people know what it's like to lose a parent and then the other parent just kind of abandons them. Well, I can't fucking relate, I'm an orphan. But even still, it goes in those whole big throws to where with those whole things, and then from the spectrum of a minority narrative where I can relate the most, even if Shan can't, of like, it's harder out here for people that aren't white to live in a society to where you could drop dead at any fucking moment, but no one's gonna care. No one's gonna give a shit because they're gonna beat on you until you're dead, and then they start being remorseful and make protests and riots and rallies for you to then just make these Facebook posts and then be like, remember Breonna Taylor and all these other people, because you're not a person, you're a commodity. And that hurts so much more. These are narratives that I love the most because it's not trying to hide behind jokes to make it appealing. It's stories that are meaningful for what has to be said. Granted, I'm also in this camp because I've grown tired of the MCU isms, and it's become this whole thing to where a lot of people think I hate the movies because I just choose to be a contrarian, but I hope that nowadays people are starting to see more that it's because of these tales I'm sick of the movies. But that's me, from someone that's watched this whole stuff before. Shan, this is your first time seeing this for episode 2. What were you thinking for Unalive sprints?
I thought it was pretty mid. I mean, there was a lot that happened between Tandy's, like, whole... She's in fear of, like, did I kill a man, or is he just basically unconscious and injured? And then with Tyrone basically just going through his grief and, like, with his dead brother, and he found out it was the cop that caused all that to happen, and his anger, and Tandy's depression, and, like, everything going on with her. It's like, it's a stressful situation, but yeah, a good start to the show. I am intrigued to continue. I think this show, as of right now, is going on the right direction. I still hate the ref from episode 1.
We both do.
And this is a really bad time to start this during Black History Month. No, I think, jokes aside, I think so far it's a pretty good start to a show, and I'm just intrigued to continue with it.
Okay. Well, let's see what we're doing. Because for you guys, this is probably going to come at a different time. For us, we might be recording 2 episodes in one night because I got to do some stuff over next weekend. Where next episode is Stained Glass. Stained Glass.
Stained glass.
Where, guys, this is going to be a fun time. It's going to be a very, very fun time. Where, things are going to be heating up. Maybe not for like the stuff for people that want action in your face for superhero media, but more of like a good character study into what makes someone become a hero step by step. So we'll see you guys for that. Where we're gonna look into more stuff where maybe this was poorly timed for a release schedule for fucking Black History Month. Bye.
We need to plan better.
We do. We do.